Well, some say the Cybertruck looks like garbage, but we're gonna make 100% of the people say that.
Hey there folks, Chuck here, and yeah, you might notice things are looking a little different with this video. There's not a really good way to explain what's been going on in the last month, other than I am taking care of a lot of personal things right now, and I am staying with my folks in Ocala, Florida, and they have been lovely and supportive, and I'm grateful to my friends and family who know what's going on and have been helping me through all this. But I did still commit to this build, and I want to participate in it as best I can. And speaking of builds, what we're dealing with here is a Tesla Cybertruck, and a few months back, some wonderful folks, Ben over at BP Custom Creations and Andrew at Maple Leaf Customs, approached me about doing a build-off together, and after going back and forth over a platform, we decided on the Tesla Cybertruck as our vehicle of choice and garbage truck as the theme. I'll be linking to their channels. Go check them out. They are both amazing people and awesome builders, and their builds will actually be done on time. But this one has been an interesting challenge, and so I'm going to get to that in the breakdown. First, the biggest part of this challenge is I will be building this one completely away from my studio. So this is a road style build, if you will. So no 3D printer, just parts that I was able to grab. And so there's not going to be a lot of the fancy tools and stuff that I could have in a portable kit. I wanted to turn the Cybertruck into the tractor for a two-piece rig and have it hauling a larger container. So I needed a donor vehicle for that. And speaking of 80s angular styles, Greg Ovis over at G's Up in Arizona, who is a guest that will be on Diecast Breakdown coming up in a few weeks, generously sent me a crack-up vehicle that looks very similar to this one. And I wanted to incorporate that into the build since he was kind enough to send me a vehicle to customize. And finally, one of the last things that I picked up before my unexpected road trip was a portable airbrush tool, and I wanted to test that out. So ready? Punch that subscribe button. Let's boogie. Disassembly is still pretty straightforward with the drill. And here's my other pieces that I will be incorporating into the build. This giant Hot Wheels garbage truck and the crack up from Greg. Thanks, Greg. I tried using various garage chemicals at my dad's place to get the tampos off the plastic. Bare Metal HW recommends using some stuff from Testers. It's called Easy Liftoff, or ELO. And couldn't get that in time, so tried a few other chemicals that I will not mention here for safety reasons, and even tried citrus strip, which started to dissolve the plastic. So do not use citrus strip on plastic, even though it comes in a plastic container. Eventually I decided to just use sandpaper and take as much of the tampos off as I could and salvage some of the gumminess that happened on the side of the bin that I tested it on. Then I used my battery powered Dremel, an attachment, to start adding some dents. And then the attachment stopped working, so I switched to the main Dremel tool, the burring tool, to add some dents. After the big grinding tool made the initial dents, it was time to graft on the trailer hitch. Fortunately, that was plastic, so it was easy to cut off. Then mark a spot on the back of the Cybertruck, do some drilling, cut, and use some Jim Silva special JB Weld to seal it all up. I wanted to give the truck more of a tubular frame look, so I used some brass tubing to make a center connector and some ribbed styrene to create some doorposts. The other thing was that the Cybertruck sits significantly higher than the tractor for the garbage truck, so I needed to cut that down. Fortunately, there's plenty of plastic on the underside of the chassis, so I just cut the bottom part of the chassis flush and drilled new holes for the brass tubing up higher into the upper part of the chassis and glued them in with a little Star Blond, which I'm still learning to get used to. It's a fantastic adhesive, but the thin stuff is super thin and there is no surface tension on it, so you can expect it to get everywhere if you're not careful. So I did have a few extra 3D printed scraps that ended up in my Go kit, including this semi-failed crushed Mustang that I got off Thingiverse. So I thought that would be a good base for the bottom of my vehicle, and I threw some dirt in there with some white glue, courtesy of my mom and dad's garden. Then took some leftover bits and pieces. It doesn't really matter what they were, because in the end they're going to be a support base for the crack-up car. I just laid those in and then filled in the various bits and pieces on the side with some tinfoil from my mom's kitchen. And then I got a lovely visit from a little friend who wanted to help me with the crack-up build. And since the crack-up didn't have an interior, we needed to find a vehicle off the shelf to provide an interior, and this manga tuner was perfect for that.
Oh my goodness. Say go. I need you to push them all this way. And go. Good job.
Thanks, Tracy. Then it was time for the airbrush. This is a portable airbrush kit that I got for about $70 on Amazon, and surprisingly effective. It's dual action, and it's got a little compressor that runs off a battery pack that you can fit in your pocket, and pretty consistent pressure. I'm still learning to master the flow. It's definitely not my Iwata or my Badger, but it is, for the money, incredibly effective if you need an airbrush thing on the go. And you could, of course, add your own airbrush to it. It uses a standard airbrush hose, so I'll link to that in the description below. Probably a really great way to, if you have a small apartment or limited space and you want to do some airbrushing, dip your toe into the water. I don't know how long this thing will hold up. I'll let you know as builds continue. Once we had the pieces chopped up, they matched up more or less, and because it's a junk car, I decided to use some Starbond and some more tinfoil to just fill in the gaps in the interior, as I was on a deadline. A little more airbrushing on the crack up, and there's a whole lot more coming up real soon. So be sure to punch that subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll see when the rest of the build comes up in a few days. And in the meantime, be sure to check out Andrew and Ben's builds. They are actually done and on time, and they, I'm sure, are incredible. I haven't watched them yet, and I will not watch them until I have finished this build, because that would be cheating. So as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.